impressions been on William Trudeau?
He's a hockey player. You know, like I said, there's a big difference between someone who plays hockey, who's talented, and a hockey player. He's a hockey player. Like, you can see that, you know, he's gotten better from last year. He's evolved, you know. He's very engaged on the ice. You know, been nice to see the progression.
Stu and Jean-François.
Marty, the way the teams are set up, you have, like, proven NHL guys on all 4 teams. And Nick was talking yesterday about how that was done intentionally, and he mentioned how when you were a young guy trying to come in, you never got an opportunity at camps to play with real NHL guys. Just if you can just speak a little bit about the thinking behind why you did that at this camp and why they're spread out the way they are.
Well, we have a lot of guys at camp, but that's on purpose. You know, I look back at my experience. You know, I went to Ottawa's camp, and after college, no contract, I just on a tryout. I didn't get an exhibition game, so I drive home, and I think I failed, and you come to realize that I didn't fail, I just learned. I learned that, you know, I'm not that far off. I learned that I got to work on X, Y, and Z. So, and then it actually, I got pulled from it, right? My experience pulled me to another level. So, you know, and then who knows who we're going to pull to go to another level. So you're trying to expose as many of our guys to that, see, you know, if they can get pulled, you know, and you want to split it so everybody, you know, has a chance to be around different guys and you know, and hopefully they, you know, they have conversations with the NHL guys. They can see their movement. They can see what they do. It's an experience that, you know, it's so valuable, and I'm glad we're doing it this way. And I know probably some of the veterans will want to know who they're going to play with and who, you know, they probably want to be with their line. I get it. I've been a player, you know, but I think big picture, this is really good for our group, and so that's why we're doing it.
Just to follow up what Eric asked you about Heineman, putting him with those 2 guys, is that also just to maybe give him a boost that, like, we're looking at you, you do have a chance to make this team?
Yeah, it's an opportunity, for sure. You know, I think everybody will draw from this. We'll draw something, you know, and so we're evaluating. You know, they're good reps, not just in games. We're evaluating in the practices. You know, the group has been really engaged. It's been a great 2 days so far.
Jean-François, Alexandre et Arber.
À la fin de l'année, Martin, tu avais beaucoup de joueurs qui étaient sur la passerelle de presse, mais fini pour l'année. Guhle, tu comme coach, tu le savais, mais est-ce que c'est un soulagement de les voir déjà en santé comme les choses?
Ben ouais, c'est toujours le fun d'avoir l'écurie en pleine forme. Tu sais, ça te donne on a des bonnes options. Tu sais. Quand tout le monde est en santé, tu as des bonnes options. Quand tu commences à avoir des blessés, ça vient un petit peu de jonglage, un petit peu difficile. Fait que j'espère que ça va être ce scénario-là le plus possible qu'on a eu cette année. C'est sûr, l'année passée, c'était difficile à cause de ça, mais ça fait partie de la game.
On le sentait déjà jouer la grosse minute avant qu'il se laisse la saison dernière. Kaiden Guhle, est-ce qu'il peut déjà t'en apporter plus dès cette saison?
Ben, c'est le but. C'est d'avoir une progression. Puis c'est comme en gros, je sais pas. Ça va être le joueur. Mais nous autres, c'est constamment avoir une progression, surtout avec tes jeunes joueurs.
Alexandre.
Martin, GF de parler des recrues, tout ça. Des fois, on entend parler du sophomore slump. Je ne sais pas à quel point tu y crois ou pas, mais est-ce qu'il y a un danger des fois pour des recrues quand tu arrives dans ta deuxième saison? Est-ce qu'il y a des pièges à éviter? Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs qui peuvent... c'est ça, des trucs qui peuvent éviter, des pièges à éviter? Est-ce que ça existe? Oui, selon toi.
C'est sûr que ça existe. Mais tu sais, c'est différent pour tout le monde. Puis généralement, qu'est-ce qui aide un joueur de ne pas avoir un sophomore slump, comme tu dis, c'est la constance. OK? Puis sans discipline, tu n'auras pas de constance. Tu sais, fait quand tu essaies de t'établir dans ta ligue, tu es vraiment là, tu sais, puis là, c'est des fois, si tu penses que là, tu es arrivé, là, puis tu es établi, puis tu perds un petit peu de ta discipline là, de préparation ou d'engagement et tout, mais tu vas perdre ta constance. c'est là que ça arrive. C'est un effet domino. Tu veux pas avoir de sophomore slump, mais ça peut. Faut t'éliminer les raisons de que c'est parce que tu n'as pas travaillé assez fort, tu n'as pas été assez discipliné, tu n'as pas eu une bonne attitude. Faut t'éliminer toutes les choses que tu peux contrôler. Puis même si tu élimines ça, ça ne veut pas dire que tu n'auras pas un petit peu d'adversité parce que tu as peut-être des plus hautes expectations, les attentes.
Les attentes.
Tu as peut-être plus hautes attentes. Il faut aider les joueurs à gérer leurs attentes, mais il faut qu'ils comprennent que être constant, ça va t'aider à ne pas avoir un sophomore slump. Puis pour être constant, il faut que tu sois discipliné.
Arben et Xhekaj.
I know you saw Reinbacher at the rookie tournament. It's quite a different context, but even that was a new experience for him. A couple of days here with NHL players. Just your impressions on how he's carrying himself in the room or the background with you guys and on the ice.
So far, yeah. No, so far so good. He's got great poise for an 18-year-old. He makes a lot of great hockey decisions on the ice. He's got high IQ. And he's just getting his reps right now. It's a pace that probably hasn't seen quite yet, but very happy with what I'm seeing.
For a player at that age, his context, I guess, is the decision making to see that is that less teachable than the other things that you mentioned?
Correct. Yeah, decision making that he has right now, they're elite for an 18-year-old. It's a very important skill to be successful in this league. He's got that.
Deux questions, si tu permets. Salut. Il y a une recrue bien que les autres, c'est Paul Byron. Comment tu vois sa contribution et ce qu'il fait déjà sur la glace avec les autres?
Oui, mais je pense que son intégration va se faire graduellement, mais tu le vois, il a passé beaucoup de temps cet été sur la glace avec les gars, puis tu vois qu'il adore le hockey. Fait que nous autres comment qu'il va nous aider, mais je pense que ça va arriver organiquement. On va voir où c'est qu'il peut nous aider le plus. Puis c'est tout le temps le fun d'avoir un joueur comme ça qui vient juste se sortir, parce qu'il va tout le temps avoir peut-être différentes perspectives, opinions, puis tout. Puis on va définitivement prendre ces conversations avec lui, qu'est-ce qu'il a à nous donner au sérieux.
Tantôt, tu parlais de l'évolution, l'amélioration de William Trudeau. Joshua Roy, quand on lui a parlé, il nous disait qu'il avait beaucoup travaillé sur son jeu défensif la dernière année. Joshua Roy de cette année versus celui de l'an passé, quelle différence tu trouves chez lui?
Beaucoup plus de détails. Oui, je suis d'accord. Très intelligent sur la glace. Les deux côtés de la glace. Il y a une belle progression depuis l'année passée.
On termine avec Alexis, Anthony, Simon, Olivier et Martin.
Martin, pour revenir un peu sur les défenseurs, c'est un groupe que l'année passée, c'était des recrues, comme on en a parlé. Deuxième année, c'est où, justement, les détails que tu veux voir, peut-être la progression, à quel niveau tu veux voir la progression? C'est des jeunes comme Guhle, Xhekaj, même Kovacevic, qui est un peu plus vieux, mais qui était recruté l'année dernière. À quel niveau tu veux voir la deuxième étape?
Mais je pense que c'est un peu de tout, c'est pas juste une chose. Pour moi, c'est leur game awareness, leur maturité sur la glace. C'est sûr qu'ils vont en faire des erreurs, c'est d'arrêter de faire la même. Pour moi, c'est la constance. C'est la constance. Plus que quand tu as une longue carrière, c'est parce que c'est un gars qui a montré qu'il est capable d'être constant. Fait que pour eux autres, c'est de continuer à améliorer leur constance. Pour pas qu'à chaque match, on n'est pas sûr que c'est qu'on va avoir de ci, on n'est pas sûr de ce qu'on va avoir de ça. C'est les détails dans le game, ça part dans la pratique. C'est de prendre toutes les répétitions au sérieux, puis de continuer à se préparer pour être le meilleur des matchs.
Anthony.
Martin, salut. On a vu dans votre superbe vidéo des coulisses du repêchage que tu avais eu de très bons mots pour David Reinbacher au moment de sa sélection. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes de lui depuis le début du camp, depuis Buffalo aussi, puis qu'est-ce que tu aurais à lui conseiller pour la suite des choses?
Moi, c'est sa maturité avec la rondelle. Comment qu'il voit la glace. Il n'est pas nerveux avec la rondelle. la progression, ben, c'est il y a 18 ans, continuer à se développer physiquement, puis en tout cas, je dirais une chose, c'est peut-être de ne pas aller trop sur les réseaux sociaux. ça, j'y dirais. Parce que c'est pas juste de quoi qu'on dit de lui. Parce que c'est un kid de 18 ans qui va être un excellent joueur de hockey.
Puis une sous-question, si tu permets, si tout le monde permet aussi. On parle de nombreuses options quand tout le monde est en santé, Kirby Dach, Alex Newell et Suzuki. À quel point c'est un gros défi pour toi de jauger entre aller créer offensivement, mais rester responsable défensivement, parce que c'est trois gars qui aiment amener de l'attaque, mais qui doivent aussi...
Oui, mais ça, c'est la base du hockey. Que ce soit n'importe qui est sur la glace, qui joue avec n'importe qui, nos joueurs, on leur demande de jouer la game. Fait que quand tu joues la game, tu joues les deux bords. Puis il faut que tu sois... Quand tu prends du risque, il faut que ça soit calculé. Il y a des mêmes choses qui rentrent en ligne de compte. C'est quoi le score de la game? Combien de temps qu'il reste et tout. Moi, c'est que ce soit n'importe quelle combination. C'est pas parce que c'est trois joueurs offensifs qui ne sont pas obligés de jouer défensivement. On joue défensivement à la minute qu'on perd la rondelle, pour pas qu'on ait à jouer défensivement dans notre zone. Fait que, c'est les responsabilités. Puis c'est une décision de groupe. Puis on essaie de les convaincre et les pousser à prendre des bonnes décisions sur la glace.
On termine avec Martin et Smolly.
À ce cas-ci, tu veux-tu bâtir des duos ou des trios?
Ben,
Des trios. Ça commence avec des duos des fois.
Mais c'est... Tu sais, parce que on t'a parlé d'Einemann, mais je t'ai souvent entendu parler, tu sais, que par ton expérience à toi comme joueur, puis comme coach, il y a des moments donnés où c'est plus un que l'autre qui va se retrouver là ou qui va devoir aller là pour des choses. C'est un peu ça ma question. C'est-tu plus intéressant ou des bases plus solides d'avoir des duos?
Ben, je pense que quand tu commences avec des duos, tu peux bâtir là-dessus. Des fois, mais tu arrives avec des trios parce que là, tu as vu quelque chose vraiment qui fonctionne beaucoup puis constamment. Mais c'est rare que ça va arriver tout de suite, 3 passes, ça marche tout. Là, ça serait le fun, mais fait que je pense qu'on commence un peu avec des duos, mais ça se peut qu'il y ait des trios qui se forment plus vite que d'autres.
Juste un petit point rapide. Quand tu places Harvey-Pinard et Gallagher ensemble, on regarderait ça et on se dirait, ben le vieux va aider le jeune, mais y a-tu des fois où le plus jeune peut aider le plus vieux à se retrouver?
Ben, c'est pas juste... c'est pas juste Harvey-Pinard et Gallagher, ça arrive à... Ben, tu sais, moi, quand Stammer est arrivé, j'ai joué avec Stamkos, tu sais, j'avais 15 ans plus vieux que lui. Il a aidé ma carrière. Fait que je pense que c'est sûr que tu peux te faire influencer par... tu peux faire t'aider par... ça ne dérange pas l'âge, mais Gally puis HP, c'est le fun d'aller voir, ça travaille, puis non, c'était le fun.
Sont-tu pareils, eux autres, ces deux-là?
La ressemblance.
Dernière question, Simon.
En suivi à tantôt ce qu'Alex demandait sur le sophomore slump, est-ce que c'est quelque chose que tu notes avec des jeunes joueurs? Parce que l'année passée, au nombre de recrues qu'il y avait, il y a beaucoup de gars que c'est leur deuxième année, ou est-ce que tu as mieux les observer avant puis rajuster au besoin?
Ouais, tu n'es pas obligé de leur faire penser à ça. Tu sais. Reste positif. C'est pas que tu peux pas dire fais attention, ça peut que ça l'arrive. Non, tu te dis non, let's go, on est positif, ça n'arrivera pas. Tu sais. Fait que je veux pas porter l'attention là-dessus puis avoir une énergie négative.
Merci, coach.
OK, merci.
On va être bon pour commencer les joueurs.
Sometimes the younger player could help the older one.
100%.
Regarding you and Rafael.
Yeah, no, 100%. For sure. You know, that's what this game's all about. Guys are always pushing, always competing, and yeah, you're going to be put into positions where you're challenged, and that brings out the best in all of us. Whenever there's a little internal competition within a group, not only does it bring out a little bit better in you individually, it rises the team's competition level as well. So it's always a positive thing.
Before Marty said anything about the two of you playing together, as soon as this, Marty asked him a question about the two of you playing together. A big smile came across his face. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. 2 days into it. It's been fun. Last time we played together was in Laval, so we had fun that night. Hopefully, if we stick together, we just build chemistry and continue. But he's got to play with. He works his tail off, as everyone knows. He's a smart player, and the thing that's been pretty easy so far is I think we think the game pretty similarly. So, when one guy has the puck, it's pretty easy for the other guy to read where to go, and it's been smooth so far. So hopefully. As camp goes along, you never know, but you just try to build whatever you have. And right now, so far through 2 days, it's been nice.
What did you picture Paulie in that role?
Paulie's, yeah. I always knew Paulie would be doing something after hockey, and he might be doing different things. To be honest, I think right now he's in a stage where he's going to figure out what he likes, what he's best at, what fits his family best, and there's a lot of things that go into it. But one thing for sure is he can help our group. He can help the organization. He's very smart. He understands the game. He's gone through a lot in his career, and a lot of players can relate to his situation. So I think he's got a lot to add, and I'm really excited for him.
They've divided the teams up a little differently this year, Brendan, where there's regular NHL guys on all 4 squads. It's not like in previous years where you'd have a third team, maybe guys without a hope of making it. What do you think about that? How do you think that helps these younger kids, and how might it have helped you when you were at that stage?
Yeah, guys are getting opportunities, and that was part of Marty's message. Try to take advantage of it and learn. The tools that are in front of you. I believe we have 71, 72 players at camp, something like that. It's obviously not everyone's going to make the team, but everyone's going to be able to take something from the camp and to listen to the coaches, listen to the messages, and they're doing a fantastic job of talking to as many players as they possibly can and coaching and listening to them. So it's it's one of those things where I think they just try to take advantage the best they can.
Have we seen the
ça se peut, oui, ça c'est un peu là, mais en même temps, tu veux laisser ça de côté. Là, tu veux pas te mettre de pression par rapport à ça. Je veux jouer la partie, je sais c'est quoi je suis capable de faire, puis c'est de le montrer en jouant de la même façon que j'ai joué pendant la deuxième moitié de la saison l'année passée. Là.
Il y a plusieurs personnes qui parlent de toi et Brendan Gallagher comme de jumeaux sur la patinoire. Tu as souvent publiquement affiché ton respect pour lui. C'est comment d'être jumelé à Brendan en ouverture de camp comme ça?
Ouais, c'est sûr, c'est super le fun. C'est un gars qui travaille tellement fort à chaque présence. Tu le vois, il donne son 200%. Puis je pense en échec avant, jouer avec lui, ça fait une bonne différence quand même. On est deux à travailler très fort avec Beck aussi qui fait un très bon travail. Je pense juste de supporter là-dedans, c'est dur pour les défenseurs de l'autre côté. Puis je pense qu'on l'a vu un peu aujourd'hui.
Parle-moi de ton été d'entraînement un peu justement. Tu abordes une saison importante. Sur quoi tu as mis l'emphase cet été?
J'ai mis l'emphase premièrement sur mon coup de patin, mon explosion, en sortant des virages aussi. C'est quelque chose que j'ai travaillé 1 pour 1 avec un coach, Nathaniel Marks, pendant l'été, plusieurs séances de glace avec lui. Puis dans le gym d'or, c'était un peu le même principe, c'est beaucoup d'explosion, force dans les jambes pour arriver le plus rapide possible au camp.
Est-ce que tu te sens plus rapide justement dans ton explosion?
Oui, bien, je te dirais qu'hier, peut-être pas. La première journée, j'avais les jambes lourdes un peu, mais honnêtement, aujourd'hui, je me sentais déjà beaucoup mieux. Je le voyais que j'avais fait des efforts par rapport à ça pendant l'été. Puis, c'est sûr que je ne passerai pas de ce niveau-là au plafond, mais c'est vraiment d'y aller étape par étape. Puis je pense que j'ai franchi une belle étape cet été. Là.
Pour revenir à Gallagher, t'imagines-tu des fois que si vous avez la chance de jouer ensemble pendant la saison régulière, quel point vous pourriez être tannant pour l'autre équipe et avoir du fun dans ce rôle-là, les deux ensemble?
C'est sûr, ça pourrait être très le fun de jouer ensemble et de voir ce qu'on peut réaliser. Ça fait seulement 2 parties qu'on joue ensemble. Je pense qu'on commence déjà un peu à se trouver sur la patinoire, à savoir où ce que l'autre va aller mettre de la pression. Puis plus tu joues avec un gars, plus ça devient facile de savoir où ce qu'il va sur la patinoire. Puis c'est sûr, ce serait le fun de le voir pendant la saison.
Est-ce qu'il te parle beaucoup, Brendan? Parce que nous, l'image qu'on a de lui, c'est un gars qui est toujours en train de parler à tout le monde sur la patinoire. Mais en termes de conseils, est-ce qu'il est vocal avec toi?
Oui, très vocal. Ça glace. Dans le vestiaire aussi, on se parle beaucoup. On arrive sur le banc, on se dit peut-être qu'on aurait dû faire tel jeu ou un autre jeu en particulier. Puis vraiment, ça aide d'avoir des conseils d'un vétéran comme ça. C'est toujours bon, peu importe les circonstances.
As-tu du fun avec lui, à jouer avec lui?
Ah oui,
vous êtes pas mal pareil, là, de toute façon.
Oui, on a beaucoup de fun. Ça, je disais tantôt, juste avant que tu arrives, mais le fait qu'on mette tous les deux un échec avant vraiment constant, je pense que ça a comme pas diminué la charge de travail, mais ça permet de mettre encore une plus grosse pression, avoir un meilleur échec avant. Je pense qu'on rend la vie difficile aux défenseurs de l'autre équipe. Là.
Qu'est-ce que tu apprends de lui?
Il y a beaucoup de choses que je peux apprendre de lui. Là. Je peux juste, la façon qu'il joue, je l'ai souvent répété, c'est un bel exemple pour moi. Il se donne tout le temps à 200 %. C'est un gars, son éthique de travail est vraiment irréprochable. Puis dans le vestiaire, c'est un vétéran, ça fait plusieurs années qu'il est là, il peut me donner n'importe quel conseil par rapport à comment être un bon joueur dans la Ligue nationale en dehors de la patinoire aussi. Je pense qu'il y a beaucoup à retirer d'être alentour de lui.
Est-ce qu'un gars comme toi est obligé ou n'a pas le choix ou automatiquement se met toujours en mode survie à un camp d'entraînement?
Oui, mais en fait, je pense que c'est la mentalité que n'importe quel joueur doit arriver au camp d'entraînement. Il faut que tu arrives, il faut que tu te prouves à chaque année. Il y a des nouveaux joueurs qui arrivent. C'est d'arriver puis de toujours, tu sais, ça, on en a parlé pendant les premières conférences qu'on a eues, mais c'était ta première moitié de carrière, c'est de prouver que tu mérites ta place dans la Ligue nationale. Après ça, c'est de prouver que tu mérites de rester dans la Ligue nationale. Fait que je pense que, en ce moment, je suis au début, mais c'est à chaque camp tu arrives, puis il faut que tu te prouves à tous les jours. Là.
C'est peut-être une long shot un peu, mais quand tu vois qu'il y a une place à prendre à côté de Suzuki et Caulfield, tout ça, on ne sait pas qui va finir par avoir son tour. Là, mais est-ce que tu te dis, Colin, je suis le genre de joueur qui a peut-être les atouts, les outils pour bien compléter un duo comme celui-là?
Oui, mais je pense que j'ai montré que j'étais capable de jouer sur une ligne comme avec ces deux joueurs-là l'année passée. En même temps, moi, je veux vraiment me concentrer sur mon jeu actuellement, c'est d'y aller au jour le jour, puis je veux pas trop voir trop loin. Moi, peu importe ce que je vais être, sur n'importe quelle ligne, je vais arriver puis je vais jouer ma partie pour contribuer au succès de l'équipe.
Tu es souvent cité par les différents entraîneurs, les membres de la direction, comme d'un exemple à suivre. On parle du parcours Rafael Harvey-Pinard, puis on te nomme souvent pour motiver les jeunes joueurs, justement. Qu'est-ce que ça te fait de revenir constamment comme ça dans les propos de tes boss?
Bien, honnêtement, ça fait chaud au cœur. C'est sûr, à chaque fois que tu entends ton nom dans des belles circonstances comme ça donne comme une belle petite tape dans le dos que tu fais bien ça, il faut que tu continues à travailler et à montrer l'exemple. Autant, je pense, à la patinoire qu'en dehors de la patinoire. Là.
Ça me fait pas si longtemps, c'était toi le jeune qui soulevait la Coupe Memorial, de voir aujourd'hui qu'il y a d'autres jeunes qui travaillent fort pour se faire une place comme ça. Comment tu le vis? Puis est-ce que tu as eu l'occasion de parler à certains jeunes de l'équipe? Déjà, tu es peut-être un jeune vétéran.
Oui, c'est ça, encore un jeune vétéran, ça c'est sûr, mais c'est sûr, j'essaie le plus possible de leur parler, juste de leur donner des petits conseils. Des fois, juste un petit conseil, ça peut faire une grosse différence pour un jeune qui arrive, qui est peut-être un peu stressé son premier camp. Donc, j'essaie d'être présent, même si je suis pas encore un gros vétéran. Là.
Encore des cheveux gris.
Non, c'est ça. Je suis loin de ça, vraiment. Ils sont encore très foncés. Là,
dans la catégorie jeune vétéran, ça fait 2 scrimmages que tu fais avec Owen Beck au centre. Évidemment, lui, c'est un peu le Canadien ou c'est le junior. Il n'y a pas d'entre les deux. C'est quoi tes impressions, justement, à date, même si c'est un petit échantillon?
Il fait super bien ça, honnêtement. Tu le vois tout de suite que c'est un gars qui est extrêmement intelligent. Il joue vraiment les deux côtés de la patinoire. Moi, c'est sûr que j'aime ça jouer avec ce genre de joueur-là. Il est responsable défensivement, puis il est capable de créer beaucoup d'offensives aussi. Je pense que la première partie, c'est sûr que c'était la première fois qu'on joue ensemble, donc il faut que ça clique. Mais je pense vraiment aujourd'hui, on a déjà vu une belle évolution, puis je pense que ça va aller en continuant pour le reste du camp.
Merci.
26 au 5-19.
What are your first impressions of playing with Reinbacher?
Yeah, he's a really good player. Didn't really know much about him coming in, but he's good. He's really poised out there. He seems like he's comfortable, and if you just get to talk to him one-on-one, he's the same way. He's calm, poised, really, really nice. So yeah, he's a good start to the camp so far. Excited to see what else he can do.
Before the injury, it was a pretty good season for you. You were able to establish yourself as a regular in the NHL. What do you want to bring for a second season in the NHL?
First of all, just stay healthy and play a full 82 games, and I think just kind of build off what we were trying to do as a team, and personally, just honestly, just try and just stay consistent as much as I can, and put together as many good games as I can, and not just okay or obviously not bad, just as many good games as I can, and be consistent. I think that's a big thing coming into the league, is just consistency and trying to be there, be pretty similar as you can every night. So,
where does that come from? Consistency.
I think a lot of it's mental, preparation. I think if you want to be consistent, you got to be prepared every night, and that's mostly on us. I mean, the coaches give us everything that they can about the other team and other players to do that, and it's just up to us to kind of take in all that information and be prepared. And but yeah, I think a lot of that's just preparation and being ready to play. So.
Beside of consistency, what are the main lessons you can draw from your first year?
Yeah, I think kind of building off the consistency. I think you're not going to be great every night, but I think how you make your bad nights good, I think, is kind of something that I think comes with consistency too, because you play 82 games, there's no way you're going to have your A game every night, but how good is your C game kind of thing. So I think just finding different ways to contribute when maybe you don't have it that night and doing that. So
do you feel as a real second year pro player?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a pro player. I think coming here to this camp, I definitely don't think I have a spot on this team. I think I'm coming in here same mentality as I did last year, and I know there's a lot of good young D here that could take anyone's spot. So I think just coming into the camp with the same mentality as last year, just trying to earn a spot and earn my way on the team. So,
Kaiden, you had to manage your minutes. You played a lot of minutes last year. You had to adjust to the pace of the game, making sure that your positioning was right. In all of this, where would you describe the place of toughness in your game last year, and do you see it being at a different level this season?
Not really. I think not really going to change much. I think obviously when you play a lot of minutes in this league and it gets pretty fast, and it's definitely different playing 30 minutes in junior or playing 25 minutes in junior. It's definitely a lot different, but I think that also just comes with playing games, and I think I know when I was 16 in junior, I probably couldn't have played 25 minutes a night. You're just not ready for that yet. So I think that just comes with playing games and getting games under your belt and experience, and yeah.
Just the first back to what you were saying, the competition.
Explain your journey to here.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. It kind of started young, not really getting an opportunity and getting cut from a bunch of teams, but everything kind of happens for a reason, and yeah, no, I'm happy to be here.
What teams were you cut from?
A lot. Well, I was cut from like a bunch of Team Alberta teams back home, Hockey Canada all the time, and then yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Not getting drafted in the Western League. Just all these teams kind of growing up.
Last year, we were able to put some really good numbers. You went far in playoffs, played the Memorial Cup. That's your first year as a pro. What do you want to achieve this season?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really looked into that too much. I want to play, and I want to be a big part of the team. Kind of taking it day by day right now, and kind of just going through camp and trying to do my best every day.
Given the course that you just kind of described up to this point, what do you think you could learn from a guy like Paul Byron, who's, I'm sure you know a bit about his history?
Yeah, it's really cool kind of seeing how he's kind of worked up and the career he had. So kind of learning from him and how hard he had to work and kind of become the player he was. It's cool to learn, and it's cool to see.
Can you tell us about the feeling of scoring 3 goals in a game, including some NHLer?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of something you want to do when you're a kid. So being able to do that today was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
No, wait. How would you describe the opportunity to play with those two guys?
Yeah, it's great. You know, I think they're pretty similar players, but just opposite hands. So it's nice having them on my wings. So, you know, they play fast, play hard, win puck battles, and you know, we've generated a lot of chances, just can't seem to score.
They could get you into a fight or two.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I enjoyed it a couple times last year in the O. So, you know, obviously guys are a little stronger here, but you know, I don't think we'll be fighting in camp or anything, but yeah, I wouldn't back down from that.
I guess one is easier to hear on the ice when he talks than the other one. When HP talks, it's really loud.
Yeah. He calls for the puck when he wants it, and you can definitely hear him.
How do you approach your second training camp after a big camp last year?
Yeah, you know, just come in and try and do the same thing, but you know, just a little bit better, I guess, this time. You know, I've got a little bit of experience of what goes on here, and that helps me day to day. So I just want to do the exact same thing, and you know, just elevate my game as opposed compared to last year.
Out of the guys you're competing with, has anybody stood out to you and said, okay, I got up my level watching these guys play?
Yeah, I mean, I was matched up against Suzuki, and obviously he's kind of, you know, the peak of the team right now, right? So, you know, just to be in kind of the same category as him would be, like, kind of shows me where I need to be, you know, the work that I need to do in order to get there. So, yeah, it was fun playing against him today. You know, I've spoken to him a little bit, and you know, from my first game, and so yeah, he was playing against me, but you know, giving me you know, a tap on the pads or whatever whenever he thought I did something good. So yeah, so that was cool, and obviously it's something I need to build towards.
As a guy trying to make this team versus some of the guys that are already established here, what's the vibe you see amongst like the Montreal Canadiens, the team, and less so the entire camp?
Yeah, you know, it's a very close group. You know, they're all friends in the locker room there. They spend a ton of time together. So yeah, it's that's kind of the vibe that I get. But you know, that's pretty much any team. You know, I think these guys care a lot for one another. They're a very welcoming group. So at least from my perspective, that's kind of how I see things. As you mentioned, trying to, you know, make the team. They're you know, they're very welcoming to new guys that are, I guess, pushing for a spot. So yeah, I think it's a great group here, and you know, I think if I am you know, lucky enough to stay, then you know, I'll have a great time here.
For sure, your main goal is to make the team here in the NHL, but do you think if you go back in junior hockey, you have what it takes to take a step offensively?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I did last year, and you know, I think I can again this year.
Talk about the offense. Just the two-way game that you're very good at. What age did you start realizing that the importance of two-way hockey? You know, young kids all want to score goals and everything else. But was there a point in your career where you realized that extra step?
I was kind of playing the same role since I was 15 years old in minor hockey. You know, I've always, like, I remember on that minor midget team, I was a second line center, took a lot of defensive zone draws, you know, played penalty kill, still played power play and everything, and had my offensive zone starts, but you know, I was relied on heavily in both ends, and that kind of just carried into junior, and you know, I think that's going to be the same thing here.
Who was the center ahead of you?
Make it clear for everybody, how do we should pronounce your last name? Yes. What would be the correct pronunciation?
I don't know, actually, Reinbacher, probably, like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
You should know more than that.
Yeah.
If you say Reinbacher, it's going to be Reinbacher until the end of your career. Are you comfortable
I don't,
with it?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it.
All right.
It's not Bacher?
Sorry?
It's not Reinbacher?
Yeah, it is, but I don't know if you can pronounce it in German that well.
Sure.
It's up to you.
So it's Reinbacher.
Yeah, you can, but it doesn't sound like that good.
What do you prefer?
It's up to you. You can decide.
When you introduce yourself at home to someone and say, "Hi, I'm David," what do you say?
I'm David.
Your last name, how do you say it?
Reinbacher.
There we go.
Yeah, but it's too hard for you, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
That was our only question.
Okay, so we're good to go now? Can I go?
What have you liked about playing beside Kaiden Guhle, or what's impressed you about him so far?
He's poison on the ice. He's so good with the puck. He got high hockey IQ. He sees the open space really good. So yeah, it makes it easier for me to play with him, to learn from him especially. From all those NHL guys, you can learn a lot. I guess it gets going from day to day. It helped me a lot to get better into it. I can learn a lot from them, and especially from the coaching staff. It's really nice.
Do you feel the benefit of the days in Buffalo?
Yeah, for sure. You're in game shape probably. You got some games in you. Those guys, they're coming right away from practice. So yeah, maybe a little bit of benefit, but still, it's a war out there. Everyone wants to show that he's the guy to be in the NHL team. But yeah, it's so much fun out there. You can learn a lot, like I said before. You're having fun with the guys. 4 different groups. So yeah, it's good.
What has struck you about Marty's?
You've said war. Do you feel that it's more real business here?
Yeah, it's real business. Back home, it's also real business. Everyone tries to fight for a salary. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to bring the bread on the table back home. Everyone has a family to feed, so everyone tries to get a job here.
What struck you about the way Marty runs practices that might be different from what you're used to?
He's 100% into it. He's talking a lot on the ice. He's trying to show every guy what to do, what he's expecting from the guys, which makes it a lot of easier for the young guys, especially to know what's going on the drills and everything. So yeah, kind of like his training style, I would say.
Paul Byron was talking earlier about how I believe you were living with one of his neighbors. How much has that helped you, and what has that experience been like?
It was good. We had a couple of nights at his place. We talked a little bit. He just gave me some advices. Just like try to play your game, try to be you. Don't look a lot into your phone and all that stuff. Just be happy every day to come here to the rink and enjoy the day.
So far, the camp, is it what you expected before you arrived?
Yeah, for sure. It's hard. Back home it's a little bit different. You just sign the guys who are like right away into the team. Here it's like 72 guys who are fighting for one spot. So yeah, for sure it's a little bit different, but it's the thing I expected.
If you had to pick out an element or two that you started to feel a little bit more comfortable than maybe you were 2 weeks ago, whether it's on the ice or off the ice, what would you point to that makes you feel a little more comfortable now?
I would say the orientation on the ice. Kind of get used to the small boards behind the net and corners, and then for sure the puck movement. Every small pass brings you a little bit further. You can't hold a puck for a couple of seconds. You gotta give it right away to the next guy.
If it ever comes down to this, would you be open to play in the AHL?
For sure, but I guess it's the plan. What Marty and Kent has and all those guys, it's in their hands. They know what to do with me, so I believe in them. Everyone believes in them, so just enjoy every day, try to win the day, and just keep on going.
You grew up dreaming of playing in the NHL. What was it like yesterday to be on the ice and look up and see there's actually guys from the NHL that you've maybe seen on TV before, and you're playing with them and against them for the first time?
It was really special. For sure, you play back home on the PlayStation with those guys like Caulfield, Suzuki, Matheson, all those guys, and now to be on the ice with them and try to compete against each other, it's really special. You can grow as a player really fast on the ice because they're fast, they know what to do on the ice, they're high hockey players, so yeah, it's good.
Do you remember how old you were when you first had that dream that you wanted to play or maybe could play in the NHL?
Yeah, I would say like with 15, 16, something like that.
Was that later?
Yeah.
On a few reps today, you were skating with HP on the second ice. You were asking a lot of questions to him. What was your reflection behind that? What were you looking to find asking him questions?
Oh, we just tried to figure out a plan how to beat the other guys and score some goals.
So good.
Thanks for your time.
Benefits of having experienced all this before, what does that allow you to focus on that maybe takes you ahead in your progression here?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different than last year. I mean, last year I was a new guy and I was just trying to show everything I got, and now that kind of they have a taste of what I can do, it helps me a lot with my just my confidence in my total game out there.
Where do you see the young core of defense grow this year?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, obviously we got a year under our belt last year, so we have a lot more confidence coming in this year, and I feel like you can tell when you're watching the games that a lot of guys are more poised and they're making better decisions with the puck.
There were so many rookies last season, both on offense and defense. Are there some things you have to be cautious about with entering your second year?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of rookies out there, and we got to look after each other this year and make sure we're all right-headed and we're all in the same path.
What do you expect from you to that second year?
Yeah, I definitely expect big things out of me. Obviously, I have a bigger role this year with a couple of guys leaving the team. So, yeah, but mainly it's just our team goal this year, and we know what we want this year, and we're going to go for it.
What's it like having your brother here?
Oh, it's great. I mean, he blocked one of my shots, so I wasn't too happy with that. But other than that, it was good, man. He's he's doing well, and I love seeing the guy out there.
How happy is your family about that?
Yeah, they're super happy. I mean, it's a dream come true for two brothers to even be getting to this level is amazing, but to be on the same organization, it's a blessing for us.
Part of the reality of being a second-year player is probably that other teams now take you into account. They've known you, they've learned to know you last year, and you don't come as a surprise anymore. So, how would you describe the reality of now other teams that will expect you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be a good challenge for me because now guys know what I can do. They know kind of how I play. The forwards know, so it's obviously gonna be a little more challenging. But you gotta keep them guessing and just stick to what I did last year and play hard.
You came in here as an undrafted player, made the team. What do you say to some of the younger guys here that are in a situation like you, whether they were drafted or not, and thinking they maybe can make this team, but not just thinking if they can?
Yeah, I think there's hope for anyone to crack the roster every year. I mean, it showed us last year. A bunch of us young guys, we walked on and made the team just by working hard and showing what we can do. So obviously it gives hope for every single young guy, and I think that's great, and it allows them to improve their game a lot.
At the blue line this year, the competition will be tougher. What is your mindset due to the fact that maybe some nights some defensemen won't play?
Yeah, I mean, we got good players, and we got a lot of guys, a lot of bodies, and a lot of good young players. So it's definitely going to be tough, obviously, to stay in the lineup, but just let the play do the talking, and don't worry about the extra stuff for me.
Wednesday, Marty was saying that maybe last year the team was like a baby. This year, like a 7 or 8-year-old kid. So just what's the message? You know, how different is it this year for you guys coming in this season, being 7-8?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference for us is that everything we kind of did last year was a surprise to all of you guys because you guys didn't really know what we were capable of. So every time we did something good, it was a good surprise. But I think this year, now that you know our standard, we're going to be held to a higher standard, and I guess we're going to be held to as 8-year-olds, and we have more responsibilities this year, so it's good.
Why do you think this team might be able to surprise people this year?
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to be able to surprise teams. I mean, a lot of the older teams, they seem to take us lightly, and I found that last year that they would take us lightly and we'd sneak out some wins. So I think if we stay healthy, we'll definitely be able to surprise some teams.
Health-wise, there's been a change. Jim Ramsey's came in. I know it's early and guys seem healthy so far, so he probably doesn't have as much to do as when the guys are injured. But what has it changed maybe in the day-to-day of this team to have a different guy doing that part?
Yeah, I mean, those guys they're doing a great job. I mean, they're on the ball and they're treating us very well in there, and upgraded some stuff in the medical room too. So we're going to really stay on top of that. I mean, it was a big issue for the past couple of years, so we're going to stay on top of that, and we'll go from there, yeah.
What kind of upgrades?
Just like newer machines and like some massage things, like a bunch of different stuff, and yeah, it's nice.
How's the shoulder?
It's good, brand new.
What was your reaction when you found out the Leafs were getting Ryan Reeves?
I didn't really think about it too much. I mean, I don't look into stuff like that too much, but yeah, it's good for them. I mean, they need someone like that, so we'll see how it goes.
What happened to you last year when you got hurt in the fight? Is it going to maybe make you pick your spots more this year, or will that be in the back of your mind, the potential of getting hurt?
Yeah, like picking spots wise, I think it was just like last year. I wasn't saying no to anyone. I was just proving my point and letting everyone know that I wasn't going to back down from them. But obviously, guys know that I'm a big guy, and the guys know that I can take care of business if I have to. So I think this year is just going to be more smarter at picking my times, not just doing it because they want to, doing it if our team needs it.
On Stu said about the division, last year the Panthers were very physical during the playoff. Reeves is now with the Leafs. Do you expect that your division is going to be a bit more physical this year because of that?
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers obviously showed that the way they played as a team, and they stuck up for each other every time. So I think the team saw that, and then they boosted up their rosters with obviously bigger players like Reeves and Lucic and those guys. So I think it's definitely gonna bring an extra level.
You're 1 year older than Kaiden Guhle, but you came into the league at the same time. What do you think, what's the ceiling for Kaiden Guhle? How good can be in the NHL as a second-year player?
Yeah, man, he's a special player. I mean, the way that guy can skate and just every attribute to his game is crazy. So I think if he keeps building confidence with what he already has, his ceiling's endless. So I think he can be one of the top D in this league.
How did David Savard most help you young guys last season in the defense corps?
Yeah, he
On
was
and or off the ice?
he was huge help. I mean, sometimes when you get off and you're pissed off, he's like, man, like the second period, like relax, like we got a lot of game left. Like he was huge for that, and just mentally having him there, and he's like a brother, but he's also like a dad in the room. So it's nice to have him as a young guy. You can always have a shoulder to lean on whenever you need it.